everybody else in the world believes it is you have to believe it. There's no reason to have a plan B because it distracts from plan A. Confucius said, he who says he can and he who says he can't are both usually right. Being realistic is the most commonly traveled road to mediocrity. Why would you be realistic? What's the point of being realistic? You have to believe that something different than what has happened. You have to believe that something different can happen. Rather than feeling like you're at effect to all the things that are happening. Make a choice. You just decide what it's going to be, who you're going to be, how you're going to do it. Just decide. And then from that point, the universe is going to get out your way. Greatness is not this wonderful, esoteric, elusive,
Rise and shine, family.
feature that only special moments will ever take. Something that truly exists in all of us.
Woo! Good morning, family. TGIF. Thank goodness it is Friday. The growth includes Friday. Honestly, I was just sitting and thinking this morning, what a fantastic week this been. What a fantastic couple weeks. Even with everything that is stewing in the pot, we are still creating so much abundance, breakthroughs. So I love to see it, family. I know this is just the beginning. I've got a great topic for everybody coming into today. We're going to be talking about the foundation of the belief system. This I'm telling you, this is going to be a huge one. So make sure you've got your pen and your paper out, because this is something you can not only learn, but we can go out and teach this as well. So as always, before we go ahead and get today rocking, let's get a little bit of gratitude down for the Friday. What's everybody grateful for coming in today, for the week, in all different areas? Let's get the feeling flowing, and you're going to see exactly why this is so important. Even today, coming back to gratitude, it always comes back to the gratitude. So here we go. How to the belief. Let's get IG live, and it's game time, baby. Here we go. Awesome. IG is tapped in. I'm grateful for God, family. I'm grateful to be alive. I'm grateful to be able to really sit down and visualize and get the feeling. And that's one of the biggest things. Even this morning, I was getting deep about the difference between animals and humans, right? Animals do not have the power to be able to envision, do not have the power to use their imagination, to be creative, to see something that they cannot see yet. Right. So I'm thankful for the mind. I'm thankful for everybody on here, for the dream team. I'm grateful for all of you taking the steps to become the best version of ourselves, because together, rising tides raises all ships. So all of this synergy, this is a big reason why all of us continue to manifest together, because this energy is contagious. So I'm proud of you guys. A lot is in the works. So here we go. Let's get into it today. This is going to be a topic you are not going to forget. You ready? I actually got this training from John Guaman. So for those that don't know, this is actually all of our mentors. This is a Chairman 100, and I'll never forget, I watched him pretty much drop out of college, and in a matter of pretty much 4 years, he went from knowing nothing about this industry, jumping all the way to a Chairman 100, right? Being able to impact lives in all different countries, learning the skill sets of trading, learning the skill sets of e-commerce. I've been able to see what is possible from so many at such a young age, from all different ages, but this specific training is coming from John, and I'm telling you, this is going to be a good one. So here we go. So when it comes to developing the belief system, right, for myself, I've always became infatuated with studying the 1%, right? How did they get to that level? What are they thinking? What are they doing on a daily basis? What are they listening to? Who are they hanging out with, and who are they associating with every day? That became my obsession getting out of college. Right, especially getting into this industry and really seeing how they operate. I understood that they're not robots, right? They're not some magical, just like Will Smith just talked about. Greatness is not reserved for only the 1%, only the esoteric people that have been chosen. You know, even for me, I used to write that down all the time. Thank you, God, for choosing me. The truth is, we get to choose for ourselves to go out and make the change. So I love that. So here we go, getting into the training, the foundation of the belief system. This is coming from individuals who have actually seen massive amounts of success, and believe it or not, it stems from Bob Proctor. You ready? So here we go. The three main elements when it comes to really developing the belief system, because we all know, hopefully by now, we'll only ever get as far as our level of belief, right? What belief do we have for trading, for building a business, for building a brand, for giving back to nonprofit charities that we can't even see ourselves yet, right? Making that type of income. It takes being able to see it first. So watch this. Three main elements: words, images, and emotions. Okay, these are the three main elements for anybody that wants to go out and develop a strong belief system with real foundation. Okay, so the first thing is words. Okay, there's a reason why they call it spelling, because all of the words that we speak, they cast spells. So even till this day, when I get on calls with some of our mentors, like even like Sean, there'll be certain words that he'll check me on the spot. And I'll literally have to go back and think to myself, like, okay, I know I shouldn't be saying these things. Here's one. I don't know, right? I don't know is one of the worst things that any of us can say, because the truth is, most of the time, our higher self, they know the answer to that. But I don't know is the easy answer. I don't know is the cop-out. I don't know is the excuse, right? So the words that we speak are very important. Even the word try. You know, for years in our organization, anybody that said try, we would literally have them go ahead and drop 10 push-ups and go post it in the chat. And that became the culture. Anytime anybody, literally, even at big events, if somebody said it, they would still drop down and do it. I know Shane and Talina, you definitely remember that, right? So one is going to be words, right? What are the words that we're speaking? And here's the difference too. To be able to start speaking it out into the world, right? Holding ourselves accountable. Can you start speaking the vision? Can you start speaking the abundance that's coming for 2023 already? This is how the law of attraction starts to really work, because you're going to see what happens when we speak things, okay? So that's why they call it speaking things into existence. Number two is going to be images, okay? Images was something that I took to a whole different level once I started understanding how important it really is, right? Getting out of college, everybody talks about a dream board. A dream board is great, but here's the difference, right? There's a difference between a dream board and there's a difference between a purpose board. You see, a dream board is everything that's materialistic. At the beginning, that's all the things that I was looking at. But as I started to grow and as I started to develop, I understood things start to shift as we get older. Our purpose starts to change as we start to grow and develop, right? So at the beginning, there was bills that needed to get paid. There was things I needed a place to live. But as I started to grow, I started to realize it is truly about people. It's about people over profits. It's about impact over income. So my purpose board actually began to be a lot different than my dream board. I went from the yachts, the cars, to all these different things to being able to give back to certain nonprofit organizations, cancer organizations specifically, being able to go out and travel and give back to those in need, really be able to get serious about why it is that I'm here. Impact 1 billion. I wrote 1 billion on my license, not to make $1 billion, but to be able to impact 1 billion people. And it took from the image, right? What are some things that we see every day? Our phone screen, right? There's a check that all of our mentors used to do with us every time we went to events. They would say, yo, show me your phone screen. And everybody that had a phone screen, I want you guys to think about this, okay? If you have something like your family, if you have something like your dog, there's nothing wrong with that, okay? I love that. But I want you to think about something for a second, okay? Whatever we think about most of the time, we become, right? So think about this. I'm telling you, this is a huge shift, right? And I used to have this. I used to have my family on my phone. But if we're looking at our phone subconsciously, literally hundreds of times a day, and you're looking at our family, let me ask you, well, people say, well, D, I love my family. I care about my family. Okay, well, I know that, obviously. But let me ask you this. If they're not on your phone screen, do you still care and love them? Yes, absolutely. So watch what the shift is. Every time that we look at our phone screen, we're going back and we're thinking about our family. We're bringing ourselves to that point. But the difference is we're not getting in a creative state. We're not getting into the vision. You see, to be able to go back and look at the phone screen to see something that's going to pull us forward, that's going to propel us, that gives us some excitement to be able to run towards something, this is where the shift happens. If you don't believe me, go ahead and look at Boss Lee. She's the one who taught me this, right? I learned this years ago, but it started to allow me to shift my thinking to where I was consciously focused on my goals and where I was going all throughout the day, right? More with images. Every hour, we learned years ago, something that's so little but so big, to be able to go ahead and put an alarm on our phone. And it could be a rampage of appreciation. It could be some Proverbs quote that really sticks out to you. Something that really go ahead and hits emotionally, to allow us to see the image and say, okay, I have to go back and get in state. So that's the first two. Words, images, right? Even for myself, we got so obsessed, even on our bathroom mirrors, on the ceiling, we would take sticky notes and we would write our vision on the sticky notes. We would go in the bathroom, I still have it right now. If you go in my bathroom, you're going to see there's certain affirmations, there's certain writings that I write on there all throughout the week that I change out, right? On a calendar. I have multiple calendars all throughout the house. One of the calendars that I write when I open my window is every day I write a new proverb, right? So it's something that I have to research and I have to go ahead and see every single day. But it comes from images, right? The subconscious mind is 30,000 times stronger than the conscious mind. So what we see plays a huge role, right? Shane and Talina, I already know you guys have it on your ceiling. Did it at the parents' house too, right? I already know. So here's the third step, okay? The third step is going to be emotions, okay? Emotions is everything. So if the words is what I'm speaking, if the image is what I'm seeing, the emotions is going to be almost as if, what am I experiencing? What have I brought into my reality? And he also talks about, what have I failed to bring into my reality? You see, for myself at the beginning, it was tough for me trying to think about, how am I going to impact so many lives? How am I ever going to learn the skill sets of trading? How am I ever going to be able to go and build a brand and I don't have any money and I don't really have a lot of impacts, right, outside of my city? So I started to look at things a little bit different when I started to understand how powerful emotions are. Emotions plays a huge role. You see, if we're in an emotional state and we're sitting as if, we're not going to be able to learn the skill sets, nobody's joining our business, we're not going to be able to be successful, I can already tell you what the next couple months are going to look like based off of what our consistent emotions are looking like. So you know what I learned? It's called the self-confidence formula. This is big. This shifted a lot for me once I learned this, because it taught me how to go ahead and start getting my self-confidence back. Went from being a D1 athlete to sleeping out of my car, having no money, having $33,000 in debt. My ego got bruised a little bit. My self-confidence got smacked until I learned the self-confidence formula. You guys ready for the formula? Drop some threes down below if you guys ready for the self-confidence formula. Here it is. This is actually from Think and Grow Rich. This is actually Napoleon Hill. He says, I know through the principle of auto-suggestion by words, images, and emotions, any desire that I persistently hold in my mind will eventually seek expression through some practical means of attaining the object back. I'll say that one more time. Self-confidence formula. I know through the principle of auto-suggestion by the words, images, and emotions that any desire that I persistently hold in my mind will eventually seek expression through some practical means of attaining the object back. You guys hear it every day that I end the call. What do I end the call with? We can be, do, and have anything we can hold in our mind. We can hold it right here in our hand. Guess where that comes from? That comes from Napoleon Hill. That comes from Bob Proctor. That comes from Dale Carnegie. This is not things that I just made up. This is from studying the 1%. They know this stuff. They understand this stuff at a deeper level. And if we're being honest, at the beginning, I used to think all of this stuff was mumbo jumbo. Why do I have to take the time to read? Why do I have to take the time to take notes? Why would I ever sit and journal? Why would I ever start working on my belief system? Why do I care about the words that I speak? Why would I even think about the images that I'm seeing on a daily basis? If we're being honest, a lot of this stuff to me, I didn't think played a major role until I got around success long enough and I understood that time either exposes or promotes. You see, as time went by and I wasn't taking journaling seriously, I wasn't taking the images seriously, I wasn't taking the speaking seriously, And I saw individuals who started earlier than me, who started later than me, who were in third world countries that literally leveled me up, blew by me. And as I studied them, I started to understand with all of them, no matter what background, no matter what industry they came from, they all understood the foundation of their belief system. Huge. You ready? So let's peel back the layers of the onion. So I just taught you guys the three main elements of the belief system. Now let's go one step deeper. Okay. What influences the belief system? So if these are the three main elements, let's talk about what really influences it. You ready? There's going to be four things right here that influence it. Number one is going to be our environment. Okay. Our environment plays a major role. And here's the cool part about the environment. It doesn't even matter, right? Even for myself, I was homeless living out of my car. I was showering at LA Fitness. So you talk about the environment. I'm not talking about necessarily just the physical environment where you're living, because here's the cool part. We can actually create our environment no matter where it is that we're at, right? One of my mentors, Austin Gotze, he said at the beginning, I was 8 months pregnant with my girl. We couldn't find anywhere to move in. We're up there in Philly in the ghetto, and we found this tiny little shack apartment that would barely let us move in. And I would go upstairs and I would lock my door in this little 3 foot by 3 foot closet, and I would shut the door and I would get to work and I would hustle. And now we talks about, oh, people see me, I'm so lucky. How did I make it happen? It wasn't luck. And Shane knows the video I'm talking about. It wasn't luck. And it doesn't matter where it is that we're even at. We cannot become a product of our environment. We can make our environment a product of who it is that we are. You see, even in my car, I was taking sticky notes and putting them on my front wheel. I promise you guys can go back and look at my first YouTube videos when some of us would travel to events, right? Shane, Kaz, and I drove to events. We took a dollar bill. Can't even make this up. We took a dollar bill and we literally drew 6 zeros after the dollar bill. So the whole time that we're driving to the event, we're broke, we're sleeping in the car, even at the event, but we're visualizing the success. We're listening to Bob Proctor. We're listening to Napoleon Hill the whole ride, because we understood how important it is to start priming our environment, no matter where it is that we are. So the environment is key. Okay. Here's the second piece. That's why I told you, it doesn't matter where you're at. We can listen to audios. We can still work out. We can still do yoga. We can still do our morning rituals. Family, these are things I've been able to take with me anywhere that I'm at, whether I'm at home, whether I'm in a hotel, whether I'm in a different state, whether I've seen Nano do this in a different country. This is the best part about these rituals. These are things we can take with us in any environment that we're in, and we can go and create our environment. Okay. Number two, here's the second piece. This is going to be information. Okay. I'm probably going to pop a bubble with this one right here when it comes to information. You ready? Information works two ways. You guys might not have ever heard this before. Information works two ways. You see, information works from a theological standpoint, and it also works from a scientific standpoint. Theologically is like the Bible, is like the Quran, right? It's like all of these wonderful books like this, right? From the Stoics, from the Greeks. This is the theological side. And a lot of them talk about very similar Buddhism, right? A lot of them talk about very similar concepts in all of these, right? So it's an excellent way to go back and learn information. In fact, one of my newest books I have over here is actually from one of the Stoics, right? Let me show you right here. Boom. This is from the Stoics right here. It's one of my newer books I was telling you guys that I grabbed. But we also have the other side, okay? We have theological, and then we have the scientific. The scientific is going to be like your Joe Dispenzas, right? Your Bruce Lipton's. The scientific side, showing that the law of attraction, what seems like just air, what seems like, oh, that's not really real. They're going to show you how scientific it really and actually is. That every thought that we think creates a frequency. Every thought that we think literally can move matter. I don't know if you guys know that or not, but when you really start studying how serious, how freakish it really is, it's unbelievable, right? I'll give you guys an example. We're all on this YouTube live together. We're all on IG live together. Is there a chord that's connecting our screens? Is there a cord that's connecting your phone to me right now? There's not, right? But how are we connected? It's only one word: frequency. Frequency is what allowing us to connect from all around the world. But here's the deal: you can't see it. We can't touch the cord. We can't feel it, but we know 100% is there, right? So that's how real frequency is. This is the laws of the universe. Just like the law of gravity, you can't see it, but it's there, right? So is frequency. So when I understood that the frequency that connects our phones, that connects our laptops and computers, compared to the frequency that our brain emits from every thought that we think, is a million times stronger. This is scientific. Have you guys ever thought about somebody and then they called, or you looked at your phone and you saw it ring, like, yo, I was just thinking about that? That's exactly what that is. You might not have ever noticed that, but imagine if you could start to use that in our favor. Imagine if we could start to tap into that and utilize that to our advantage, for our success, for manifesting, for being able to bring these dreams into reality. This is where it really happens. This is why journaling is so important, because whatever we think about most of the time, we become. This is why we have 277 days. And for all of you, Shane's in the 300s. JoJo is on it. Lady Boss Nikki's on it. Deanne and John have been 50 plus days straight. And I'm not surprised why we're seeing all of the manifestations start to come to fruition, because this is where it all begins. So here's the next piece. You ready? The third piece is going to be experiences, right? Experiences plays a drastic role on the influence our belief system. I'll give you guys an idea, okay? When I first got in the industry, I didn't know a lot about trading. I didn't know a lot about any of this that we're doing. But when I heard testimonials, when I heard people that were my age that were able to learn this in a matter of a couple months to a year, and see what can actually be done in a year's time, when I started getting around different mentors, different levels of information, right? Reading books, listening to audios, my belief system completely changed because of the experiences that I was able to gain. I went from thinking $100,000 was a lot. Getting out of college, to me, making six figures was a lot. But when I got introduced to real traders, family, I saw Darwin make $100,000 in one day. Seriously. I've went out on weekends and I've watched them spend $30,000 at the club, when there's people around me that think spending $200 on a bottle is a lot. I'm not to give you guys, necessarily materialistic things, but it expands your mind when you see things at a different level. When you get around events, you see all of them pulling up in these exotic cars. You see how young they are. When you see the videos that some of them have been able to retire their parents and pay their mortgages off cash at 27 years old, these are experiences that allowed me to think much bigger, much sooner. People in third world countries that are able to go back and retire their family. It's been able to show me what's really possible. Seeing Chris Reef make 2.5 million cheeseburgers in a matter of a couple months. Yeah, family, this is different. The access that we have is not normal. Matt Rosa. I saw Matt Rosa delivering Chinese food and pizza 8 years ago. Fast forward to now, he's not only a Hall of Famer, but he's top 10 in the whole industry. Jason Brown, delivering Chinese food and pizza, $70,000 in debt. I could literally name success story after testimony and be able to go back and see how much these have shifted my belief system. How about the whole company? I saw, even for Shane, we saw this company when there was only literally a couple thousand people in here with one product. Chris Terry would just go live 7 days a week pretty much. And we've been able to see this thing grow into the hundreds of thousands. We've been able to see this company touch $1 billion. We've been able to see this company expand into over 100 different countries, multiple different educators, all of these different academies now. So these experiences have completely changed our belief system on what is possible and what is that we can go out and achieve. And the last piece that really influences this belief system is going to be gratitude. Right? We say it every day. The feeling is the secret. I had to learn how to be grateful for having the success already. Even though I was going back to sleep in my car, even though I was going to sleep in a shower at LA Fitness for 6 months, I lived that life. No food, eating McDonald's every day, literally going to the store to get bread and peanut butter, and that was my meal for half a year. But I understood I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be able to eat. I'm grateful to have 4 limbs. Nick just got on a call yesterday. He couldn't even go out and take a walk if he wanted to. My sister passed from cancer. She couldn't even take a breath today if she wanted to. So I had to learn how to be grateful for the little things, right? I gave myself an ultimatum when I was 21. I said, what would you do if you only had until you were 28 years old to live? How would you live your life? Would you live with a little bit more gratitude? Would you appreciate the little things? Would you stop complaining and stop blaming the world for everything that's going wrong in your life and actually take responsibility? That was something that was hard for me, family. I used to blame everything on the world. When my sister passed, I was so angry at everybody, including God. How could you do this to me? How could this happen to me? Why me? Why are so many things going wrong in my life? It was really hard for me to learn gratitude, to learn how to forgive, to learn how to drop an ego, to learn how to let go of certain things that kept triggering me and causing me to stay stagnant for so long. Gratitude was the biggest shift that changed my life. To be grateful, to let go of anybody that's ever wronged me in my life, to say, you know what, I genuinely wish you happiness and success. How do you feel with that, just saying that out loud? The worst thing that anybody's ever done to you in your life. How do you feel right now if you were able to sit down and untie that bow that's kept you so tight and so strung out and be able to let you be free? How does that feel just saying that out loud? I can feel it. I have goosebumps just saying it because I can feel some of you might have needed that today. Gratitude that we can call loved ones. Gratitude that we can go out and become the best version of ourselves every day. Gratitude to know that we've only just scratched the surface in our success. Gratitude to know that our dash does not have an end date yet. We were born, we have the dash, and that last date has not been stamped yet. So we still have breath in our lungs. We can still go ahead and make the most of this life. And here's the last piece. Okay, I had 3 pieces for you today. My first piece was the 3 main elements for the foundation of your belief system. My second piece for everybody today was what influences our belief system. There's 4 things: the environment, the information, the experiences, and the gratitude that we have. And the third piece that I have for everybody today is how to go ahead and shift our belief. You see, there's 2 things that are going to allow us all to really shift. Everybody go ahead and drop shift down in the chat for me. There's 2 things, okay? The first that's going to allow us to make this shift is going to be repetition. Putting in the reps. Family, I didn't know anything about trading. I didn't know anything about public speaking. In fact, I almost failed my public speaking class. I used to stutter every time I would go out and make a story, every time I would go out and make a video. I used to have to record that thing 20 times, just like with Nikki. I'm like, yo, let's do it again. We got to do it again. You're going to learn it. You're going to get more confident as you go. And now you start to see the videos get more fluent. They get a little bit more confident. They get a little bit more spice and flavor because we're not worried about what other people think anymore. But guess what that took? That took time. That took reps, right? Building an e-commerce store, it's going to take reps. The first products, they're not going to fly off the shelves right at the beginning. But as we put up more listings, as we learn about keywords, as we start to develop more knowledge and get more confidence, things start to get a little bit easier, don't they? It works with that with every area of life, family. Trading, working on our relationships, working on our family, working on our business, working on our brand. The only way that it's really going to grow and develop is really by putting the reps in, number 1. And here's number 2, okay, is the emotional experience. Getting tapped in with our emotions, right? Some of our mentors, they call it the difference between shallow work. I'm forgetting the exact author of the book that really gets deep and talks about this, but he talks about shallow work and deep work, right? The reason why most people I've realized that don't get to certain levels of success that they're looking for is because the emotional connection is not deep enough. The desire, the passion, the fire has not really been lit yet. You see, you know what I've realized? I want to give you guys this visual to end off today's call. This is my visual to get you guys to understand how I see emotional experiences, right? Everybody has a fire inside. I want you to think about your flame right now, and I want you to visualize your flame, and I want to ask you a question. Do you feel like your flame is barely just flickering, like it's on the verge of going out? There could be one little breeze that comes in, and your flame can literally get blown out. Cal Newport, facts, deep work, exactly, right? How many of you feel like your flame is just barely flickering, and there could be a little gust, and the flame is gone. It's blown out. I know what that feels like. I've been there. I've been there multiple times in my life. And I've understood that for any of us that are breathing, for any of us that are watching, the magic does not happen externally. The magic happens internally when we can light that flame. And how do we really start lighting that flame? By all of these three things that we went over at the beginning with the elements, how to go ahead and put these into use, right? By changing the words, by changing the images, by changing what is that we're seeing and hearing on a daily basis. This is what starts to light the flame. Getting around individuals that are doing what it is that we wish to be doing, that are moving at a higher level, that are moving at a faster pace. And we start to get inspired. We start to take action. We start picking little things that they're doing, and we start to go ahead and make them our own. We start to get deep about our vision. We start to figure out what it is that we truly want. Let me ask you, what is success to you? If money wasn't an issue, what is success to you? Is that being able to travel the world in an RV? Is it being able to live in the hills, right? Let's start getting deep about what our real values are, what it is that we really desire, because success is not the same for everybody. And I think that's a problem with a lot of people is we began to accept so many things that everybody else has said that we haven't taken the time to really think about what it is that we want. What fires you up emotionally? What really gets your gears going? You know, for myself, my mother, I want to be able to get her teeth back. She's losing her teeth. Her hair is almost completely gray. She's struggling. She has the C word going on right now. So I want to be able to give back. I want to be able to help. And guess what? That drives me emotionally at a level that I can't even explain to you. Can't even put it into words. When I don't feel like going to the gym, I have goosebumps talking about it. I'm going to go anyways because this is bigger than me. Shane and Talina, I know you know what I'm talking about, right? Deanne and John, Lady Boss Nikki, there's things that's going on in our life that we all have the ability to tap in emotionally, to supercharge us, to go ahead and light that flame that's always been there. And when that flame starts roaring, when that flame starts heating up, when that flame starts literally erupting, that fire is going to be able to be seen worldwide, and the world is going to be able to come and watch us burn. It's in the Bible. It's written. So I'm here to tell every one of you guys, I believe in you at a very deep emotional level. Your goals have started to become my goals. Your vision have become attached to my vision. That's why, without a doubt, I know this is bigger than me. That's why I've become to get in the state that I'm going to show up no matter what, because it's not just about me anymore. It's bigger than just me. It's bigger than all of us. This is why the Dream Team is such a beautiful community, to be able to go after a vision, to go after a dream that's bigger than all of us. So then with that being said, this is how we can all truly, really develop a strong foundation coming into the season of 2023, where the next 12 to 18 months, family, it's going to be rocky. There's going to be some serious hailstorms. There's going to be a lot that gets thrown in life. It's going to get really crazy out here in this world. But if we can have a strong foundation that's not built with sticks, that's not built with sticks and straw, right? Just like the 3 pig story, they can blow over the house. You see, but with a strong foundation that's built brick by brick, that's laid clean, that's laid strong every day, that's rooted. This is how I know no matter what storm comes, not only are we not going to get blown over, we are going to thrive and grow and blossom inside of these storms. So then with that being said, if you believe that wholeheartedly, drop some 5s down below, because we're in the right place, right time, right people. And I couldn't be more thankful and grateful for who it is that we're connected to, the access that we have, the family that we have, the community that we've been able to build, because this is rare, family. This is different. You don't see this every day. So I more appreciate you guys. I love you. Let's go out and take advantage of the rest of this month and get ready to go ahead and dominate the rest of 2023. If nobody told you today, family, you're powerful, you're limitless, you're amazing. And for the next who's ready to go ahead and get on to be featured for Dreams to Reality, shoot me a message this weekend. I'll be setting up these calls coming into next week. I can't wait to hear all of your stories. So get ready, family. Let's go out and make it happen. We can be, do, and have anything we can hold in our mind. We can hold it right here in our hand. I love you, family. Dream Team, happy Friday. Have an abundant weekend. I love you guys. I will see you guys in a couple hours. A couple great calls today. Let's grow. It's game time.